Hi, I'm Bastien Guerry from the French government, DINUM, the Interministerial Directorate for Digital Affairs. And my colleague Olivier sadly could not join, so it's just me. Thank you for welcoming us. It looks like a great event. Nice to connect with friends around. And I will try to tell the story of LibreOffice. I don't have the feedback because I'm using PDF and I was punished for that, for not using the ODP presentation on the screen, so I have to read it. So the story of LibreOffice in the French public sector illustrates four powerful ideas. The first one is that public services should use free software. This idea dates from 25 years ago, when a member of the Senate, Mr. Lafitte, said publicly, like, public services should use FLOSS. And then it continued in 2005 and 6, when the first civil servants started to use OpenOffice, and even StarOffice at the time, OpenOffice in the Ministry of Interior, experimenting and lobbying their services to experiment more and spread how good it was as a replacement at the time, aware of this standard issue. And then in 2008, you had Gendarmerie Nationale, the French police department, a big department, trying to work on a new Linux distribution for the Ministry of Interior and spreading LibreOffice through this distribution. Nowadays, it's more than 80,000 civil servants from the police ministry using this distribution and using LibreOffice through that. So, and then in 2009, we had this document, this official document for all ministries explaining that they should use interoperable formats, among which ODF formats within the administrations. 2012, for those knowing the history of open source in the French government, was a big day because the Prime Minister wrote a circular explaining that we should use free software more, and also gathering experts from the various administrations on sharing their expertise around that. Again, 2016, the law for digital republic says public sector are encouraged to use FLOSS software, and 2021, there is an action plan for using more free software. So it's all about using, and LibreOffice was the first foot in the door and the flagship for the use of free software in the administration. The second powerful idea is civil servants should share their free software expertise. So sharing happened through LibreOffice when we had this first informal mutualization groups around OpenOffice. They were the ones who invented this cross-ministries gathering and exchange of experience. Oh, I've been using this LibreOffice plugins. What about you? Do you need this signing plugin in the Ministry of Interior, in the Ministry of Culture? So they were the one, breaking the doors of the big administrations and trying to collaborate with each other. First informally for 5 years, and then formally when the Prime Minister circular was released. So since 2012, we have these official mutualization groups, and not just for digital workplace and LibreOffice tools, but also for other tools like databases, admin tools, and every new Linux tool out there. 2012 is also the date for the first release of the list of recommended free software for every ministry out there, called the SEAL, that people also know as a flagship for the free software in the French administration. Then, since 2015, all the ministry's CTOs are endorsing this shared expertise and this shared assessment about free software that every ministry should use. It was really key into giving technical expertise to the ministry, because this mutualization group were saying, okay, you need to decide between MariaDB and PostgreSQL, for example. And when you're using PostgreSQL, you need to use this version, because this one may have some problems, and so on and so on. So this is all about sharing expertise. And 2018, we started a community to boost these mutualization groups and to extend them beyond the list of recommended free software. So that's the launch of the Blue Hats community. And I have a bug here because there is a nice blue cap emoji. It's just Unicode character that I put it here and the PDF export from LibreOffice wouldn't put it here. So I will try to figure out and make a bug report. But anyway, so the Blue Hats movement is all about sharing expertise. Powerful idea number 3 is that public sector organizations should share source code they write by themselves or buy. So the history about this is because of LibreOffice needs in public ministries, the Ministry of Finance started a public procurement contract for free software support and expertise. And I believe many of you here know this public tender and can comment it, and I'm happy to discuss it in details. So this contract was to make it easy for any civil servants to report bugs against LibreOffice and other software, PostgreSQL and databases and so on, and to get the bug fixed and to get the fixes shared among ministries. 2018 is also the date when the Interministerial Directorate released the French state open source contribution policy. So there was raising awareness about the need of sharing what you're writing, the code you're producing, the bug fixes you're paying for. 2019, there is the launch of code.gouv.fr, code.etalab.gouv.fr at the time, which was, oh, but by the way, we are already releasing a lot of source code. Where is it? So nobody knew where it was. So we started to make this inventory that is still active today. And today we have more than 25,000 repositories referenced there. And I encourage you to go there. Because we had too many repositories there, we started to make a short list of what was the most important free software made by public administrations that we should promote to all the ministries. If there is something you should look when you do the sourcing for your next IT system, where should I look as a minister or as a CTO of a ministry? And then 2024, like recently, we launched La Suite, a set of public web applications for civil servants that I will comment more in a few moments, as a deployable set of free software applications for civil servants. So the next powerful idea is that public sector organizations should contribute to the free software ecosystem. Contribution, for a long time, the bug fixes made within the public tender I mentioned were shared amongst ministries. But 4 years ago, we made an effort of publishing the list of commits that were paid through these public contracts. 2021, we set up the Free Software Council around the Free Software Union, the open source program from the French government, to be able to share point of views, expertise with all the big actors of the free software ecosystem in France, like ADULAT, like CNLL, like Eclipse Foundation, and so on and so on. And this was key in learning a lot because we know we're just a small entity in the French government. We need to learn about the good practices, about way to collaborate upstreams and so on. 2023, we launched the efforts around La Suite, a sovereign digital workplace for civil servants. And we, by design, we launched it in a way that we already knew we had to contribute to upstream free software libraries. We knew we had to stand on giants' shoulders. So it was really seen as a way to contribute to the larger open source ecosystem. And we have this nice memorandum of understanding with Germany or German friends here, Alexander. And we collaborate on shared free software components that we both use in the Open Desk digital workplace and in La Suite workplace. So a few lessons learned. Don't impose digital tools on civil servants brutally. That was, I guess, the first error that everyone made and that we made in some French ministries. because civil servants were not ready for that, or they were told it's like this, you don't have a choice. And they were also told something else, that is the fourth lesson. The fourth lesson is don't pretend product, in this case, LibreOffice represents every free software out there. So the civil servants were told, use LibreOffice, this is free software. And they were like, oh, if they don't like it, they refuse everything from free software because they just see this flagship project as a representation of every free software out there. So you have to fight explaining that free software is also, servers, tools, and so on and so on. Second lesson is don't start packaging until you have the resources to do it properly. And I know we can discuss this in depth because we started to package a version of LibreOffice for the administration, adding plugins, adding some customization, and this effort was fruitful for a while because it was a way to answer the needs of some administrations. But because we lacked the resources to do it properly and to do it in collaboration with the right persons, and then it was stopped too soon. And today we are just putting too little efforts into packaging this. And don't work in isolation. You cannot buy good collaboration. You have to struggle to set up a good collaborative environment. It's not just something that happens like that. Anyway, we made a gathering last year, and I encourage you to read this report and to translate it. It's in French, and the LibreOffice packaging for French administrations is still distributed on this link. So these four powerful ideas is use, learn, share, and improve. And I know I will not teach anything to this audience. These are the four free software freedom. I see Paolo, should I start right now? No. 5 minutes? Okay. If you're bored, is that okay? So these are the four freedoms. I just discovered this myself, thinking, what are the four threads of the story of LibreOffice? So really, LibreOffice was a key product. It was good enough to be a key product to nurture this culture of pushing the four freedoms in the French public administration, year by year, efforts by efforts, and civil servant by civil servant, I would say. And these four freedoms are the heart of what we do at the French Open Source Program Office, or Free Software Mission, as we call it. This is the website. I encourage you to get there. At the bottom, you see free software made by administrations. This is what we want to encourage other civil servants to know and to use, and free software recommended for other administrations. And we have LibreOffice there, we have many other software. And also, there is these workshops. We do have online workshops, we do have real-time workshops, in real-life workshops, and this is the community. Blue Hats is real. We have 4,000 people subscribing to the newsletter, reading the newsletter. We have 1,000 Blue Hats on the Matrix channel, exchanging about free software every day. So everything that the team in free software does can be seen as a nice side effect of the LibreOffice story in the public sector. And now, let's read. So let's read. What is the set of tools that we develop for civil servants? In DINUM's roadmap, we have this pillar: guarantee the digital sovereignty of the French state by investing in mutualized digital productivity tools for civil servants. It's a long phrase. It's just make the best use of free software and collaborate with other free software upstream providers to give the best tools out there to civil servants and to guarantee the sovereignty. That is the logo for the suite. Was launched 1 year ago. It's around 15 persons working full-time on this and working on 70 different modules. All the modules are around the single sign-on that we develop, and our focus is really on the single sign-on for every civil servant out there. That's kind of the biggest challenge we have now. We made the France Connect button as a single sign-on for citizens. We had to make the Agent Connect, or the Civil Servants Connect, for civil servants and also companies. So this is the Pro Connect button. It's now connecting civil servants to the various pieces of La Suite. If you want a chat or or Matrix account, then you sign in with your ProConnect account access. If you want an email, you can sign in with your ProConnect account, and so on and so on. So the design is, the architecture is really modular. And for each product, we have a product manager, a business developer, and we try to collaborate with upstream open source providers. Beyond, so as I mentioned, we are working on email, working also on Matrix, that everyone knows here. And so Matrix today is about 260,000 active users, so it's quite big, and we cannot remove things like that. So we have this nice collaboration with your German friends, as I mentioned, and I guess Alexander invited you to listen to Alexander to know more about this. What's special about this collaboration is that it's very hands-on. We want the tech teams to exchange, we have discussions, we are on the same Matrix channels, we discuss technically about the common needs, and we try to develop things together. We launched something that is called the 100 Days Challenge. That is, each country, each entity is paying for 100 days of developers' efforts to contribute to common goals that we set up together. And this collaboration is open to other countries, other governments, and we want to promote this methodology of being very hands-on, to iterate, fix bugs together, and always try to converge and see what are the most strategic open source components that we need to work on together. So thank you very much, and I invite you to learn more and to join the workforce. Thank you.